This week on LSMN Overtime, we're highlighting some big football games in LISD, plus we'll catch you up on the latest volleyball action, and we'll introduce you to a student who's come a long way to be part of Texas high school football.
Hello and welcome to the second episode of LSMN Overtime. I'm Brendan Selke.
And I'm DJ Crickshin. Let's get started with some football as two big games happened this week. Last Friday, the Lewisville Farmers hosted their homecoming game against the Capel Cowboys. Lewisville started the night strong with 2 rushing touchdowns, with one by senior running back Xavier Lewis. The Farmers' defense smothered the Cowboys in the second quarter, keeping Lewisville's advantage. The game went into halftime with a score of 17-0. The third quarter saw the Cowboys getting on the board, but Lewisville's offense didn't let up. In the final minutes of the game, Xavier Lewis ran a 60-yard rushing touchdown for Lewisville, later followed by another rushing touchdown by junior Jaden Hardy. The Farmers won with a score of 38-3.
On Friday, the Marcus Marauders hosted the Flower Mound Jaguars in the 23rd edition of the Mound Showdown. Marcus's Ben Perlmutter got the game started with a rushing touchdown late into the first quarter, but Flower Mound bounced right back with 10 seconds left when Gil Erdman found Walker Mulkey for a 20-yard passing touchdown. After a turnover from Marcus, Perlmutter found his second touchdown of the night from 7 yards out. In the first play of the second half, the Jags got a 75-yard rushing touchdown from Addison Wells to get within 2 points. Marcus controlled the ball with a long touchdown drive to end the third, but then the Jags responded early in the fourth with an 89-yard touchdown to Grant Satterfield. After Marcus got his 4th rushing touchdown of the game, Cole McKnight called game with his 2nd interception of the night as the Marauders took the mound, winning 31-21. And for some other scores around the district, Hebron took care of business against Plano East, winning 35-23.
And over in District 5A, the Colony lost to Aledo 52-7.
Yeah, what'd you see out of this week?
You know, I saw some pretty good football. We had some close games with scores between a few possessions, and then we just saw some dominations as well.
Domination by Lewisville against Capel. I mean, you like to see that. And then Marcus and Farmouth had a great in-district game. And now let's check out this foreign exchange student that went from rugby to American football. Vinny Williams has more on that story.
Marcus is here as a new foreign exchange student, Frankie. He has roughly 10 years of experience in rugby and is now playing as the kicker for the JV team, making a very interesting transition.
Yeah, I kick in my team. I said, okay, I can kick in football because I think it's similar. And when I started to practice, it was so difficult because it's so different and I have to learn from zero. So, but I think now I'm a good point. Yeah.
The language barrier from English to Italian was a learning curve for Frankie's mentors.
It definitely comes with some challenges. His English is good, but there's some times that you have to kind of describe certain things that you wouldn't think you'd have to. Obviously, he's made a lot of strides, so it's been pretty impressive.
I have coached another foreign exchange student at one of my last schools. It's really fun to see those guys play when they haven't played before because the growth and the learning, their enthusiasm for wanting to learn. Frankie's been one of the most coachable kids. I've been doing this 15 years. He came in, told me that he was a kicker. I asked him how much he's played, and he said, "Oh, Coach, I've never played football." I said, "Well, perfect." To see where he's at right now from when he came is unbelievable.
Frankie is getting better and better at this all-American sport. For LSMN Overtime, I'm Vinny Williams.
Marcus and Hebron faced off for the second and final time this past Tuesday as the Marauders were looking to sweep the season series. Hebron had other plans as they came out hot and went up 4-1 early in the first set. But Marcus's defense went to work and they were able to take the set 25-20. Marcus's offense dominated the second set, giving Hebron no room to spare. Marcus took the second set by 13 points, winning 25-12. The third set was back and forth between both teams as the offensives were on fire. The Marauders' offense prevailed as they were able to take the third set 25-20 and sweep the Hawks in 3 sets, improving to 6-2 in district play, while the Hawks fall to 2-6.
Yeah, and some other scores around volleyball. Flower Mound swept Lewisville 3-0.
And the Colony took care of Turner, winning 3-0 as well. So just sweeps across the board today.
Yep. And then this new segment where we called LISD Graduate Star, where we highlight a former LISD athlete who is now continuing to shine in the college or the pros. This week it is Madison Dyer. Dyer, a Marcus graduate, now plays at Sam Houston State and recently won the Western Athletic Conference Defensive Player of the Week.
She dominated this past week as she got the third double-double in the WAC this year with 15 kills and 10 blocks against Utah Valley. This totals her weekend stats to 12 blocks while also having 29 kills. This contributed to a total of 36 points this weekend for the Cats. Dyer will look to continue her already impressive freshman year tonight against UT-RGV. And the Flower Mound girls cross-country team is continuing their legacy after winning state last year. So far, they have won all 8 track meets they've been to, as recently as getting first in the Nike South Invitational. Top runner junior Nicole Humphreys had led the way this season as she shaved 30 seconds off her 5K from the start of this season to now having a 17:09 at the Nike South Invitational.
And now switching it over to the Marcus tennis team, who qualified for the playoffs on Tuesday. They came in red hot, winning their last 3 games against Keller Timber Creek, Plano, and Byron Nelson. They used this hot streak, beating Plano East 14-5, and are now qualified for the playoffs for the 15th year in a row. The playoffs will start for the Marauders on October 10th through the 11th, after one more district game on Friday against the Colony. Over the past couple of years, there has been a shortage of referees around Texas. While it's not affecting LISD, it is affecting smaller schools around Texas. The Texas Association of Sporting Officials says you might not be surprised why.
One of the biggest issues that keeps popping up why we're short is the constant abuse of officials, the verbal abuse. We've had officials that have been physically accosted or assaulted and going out to their cars, and they just feel like for what they're putting into this, it's not worth it.
Theodore says until the fans are held accountable, this might be an issue.
You know what they say, sometimes respect your elders, sometimes you got to respect the refs.
Yep. And then after a great first season of UAL water polo, there are 3 tiebreakers going into the playoffs. For girls water polo, Marcus will play Hebron, then Flower Mound will face off against Southlake, going for their 3rd straight water polo championship. For the guys, Marcus will take on Southlake. Games will be held through Saturday, October 8th at the West Side Aquatic Center. Have you seen Lewisville football this year?
Oh yeah, they've been great. They're currently 4-1, only losing to Highland Park.
I mean, yeah, that's a great team at Highland Park. So, you know, they've had a already impressive year, and there's one guy leading the way, and that's Byron Ellison. And Vinny Williams has more on that.
This spotlight goes out to Lewisville star running back Byron Ellison, who is quickly moving up the ranks in 6A. As of Friday, Ellison is 3rd in rushing yards with 668 and 3rd in touchdowns with 7. In the past 4 games, he has had an impressive average of 158 yards a game, with a whopping 185 yards on 22 carries against Capel. Expect those numbers to only get better as Ellison and the Farmers take on the 1-win Plano West Wolves Friday night. That's it for Spotlight. Back to you guys.
That's it for this week. Make sure to check out the LSMN Game of the Week on October 14th, where the Flower Mound Lady Jags will travel to Hebron to take on the Lady Hawks in volleyball. I'm Brendan Selke.
And I'm DJ Crichton. Thanks for watching LSMN Overtime.